Call the Honourable Member Alan Peachy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. As the member who chaired the Select Committee hearings into the Voluntary Student Union Bill, I want to also acknowledge the role that the Select Committee played on all sides of the House, because it was a positive engagement and we engaged very, very well with the submitters as well. It was a long process, at times a demanding one, but everybody performed very, very well. And I believe that, if nothing else, this process was a tribute to the way that the parliamentary system can and should work. I should acknowledge the work of the member Heather Roy. This is a big day for her in her parliamentary career. I think it's regrettable that she is leaving Parliament, but she has certainly, with the assistance of her colleagues, earned this success. At the end of the day, it should surprise nobody that the National Party is supporting this bill, because this is a party that believes in choice and in personal responsibility. And it's those two words that I want to concentrate on for a few minutes. The first one, choice. Throughout all of the hearings and in subsequent public statements and in a lot of things that I've heard the Labor Party say, they have talked about compulsory student membership enhancing choice. I hope that finally one of the Labor speakers might be able to explain that to me, because I am really struggling with that concept of how forcing young people into being denied a right that all other New Zealand citizens have, and that is a freedom of association, how that in any way at all can be enhancing the choice of that young person. I just don't figure that one out, I'm afraid. It seems to me that choice comes down to the opportunity not to be required by law to join an organisation simply because you attend an institution, or have to go through an elaborate and often frustrating process to get exemption from that. That just does not seem to me to be choice, nor does it, in my view, pay tribute to the ability of youngsters embarking on a tertiary education. This is a choice, whether they join a student union or not, that they are capable of making themselves. They do not need legislation passed by this Parliament to force them into joining something. That should be their choice, and this legislation gives them that choice. The second point about personal responsibility. A lot of people who support this bill contacted members like myself. They didn't make submission to Select Committee, but they made their views known. And what I found myself doing was balancing two things out. One was those people who said to me, and I'm bound to say that it's a view for which I have a lot of respect, look, I'll take responsibility for myself. If I get into trouble with the university, if I want to appeal something, I will take responsibility for that. If I have a health issue, I will take responsibility for that. And let's face it, Mr. Speaker, these young people, if they are capable of studying at tertiary level, are capable of exercising that sort of choice for themselves. Then there was the other point of view that basically said, well, no, I might get into trouble, and we had presented before the committee, a number of interesting stories from people who did need the help of the Students' Association. But then you ask yourself, should every student in New Zealand, except for those that go to Auckland University, actually have to fund what may be a bit of an insurance scheme? And I did find myself asking why some people actually were at university if they didn't have the capability to take personal responsibility and keep their lives in order. So I found myself balancing those two things up and constantly referring back to my previous career and the young people that I knew who were going off to university. And frankly, my view very strongly was that they should not be going off to university if they were not able to exercise personal responsibility for themselves. Now, during the hearings and in all the meetings I had with student leaders, I came to respect highly the presidents and co-presidents of the Students' Association. Often the arguments that they put to me were reasonable, they were fair, I didn't always agree with them, and clearly they were motivated to protecting compulsory unionism. And I would have expected that, and I'd like to say to those young people, first of all, how much I enjoyed our contact. It took me back to a previous life that I thoroughly enjoyed. But it also brought home to me something else, and that is this. Those young people, by and large, were of such ability that I believe they are more than capable of running a voluntary student union that are capable of providing the services that a significant number of students will be prepared to buy in. And there's another message, of course, in all of this to students. You are being, Mr. Speaker, students are being given a choice now, a choice to exercise personal responsibility and a choice to ask themselves a basic question. If I join a union, the student union, will it provide me with the services, support that I might need, or do I back myself to exercise my personal responsibility in a different way and take care of myself? So I do want to pay tribute to the ability of those young people and repeat how much I enjoyed my contact with them. I realise that for you, this is a disappointing day. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, for student leadership, it is a disappointing day, but I hope that students will also see this as an opportunity, because students are being granted the last freedom of association that has not been denied to other to other New Zealanders for a long, long time. And I just repeat a comment I made earlier. If a member of the Labour Party, and I say to the student leaders, please do not have expectations that Labour is somehow going to turn this over or repeal it, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's unrealistic to think it will. It's just not possible for a party that has committed itself to voluntary unionism in every other aspect of life to go and deny that to students. But that's beside the point. If at the end of this debate one of the opposition speakers can explain to me how compulsion enhances choice, then I would be delighted to have that happen. Mr. Speaker, thank you.